All right, round 2, we're going to play first. Yeah, it's a keep. Got removal. We've got other stuff. Hand disruption and removal. Cornerstones of control. All right, let's reveal that. Let's transgress. Pour over the pages. Okay, this is the prison deck. Let's take the pour. I feel like we're very well matched here because they main deck stuff like prism rings, which them gaining life doesn't matter. They're essentially doing the same thing we are, though, which is the grasp is going to be pretty bad for us, I admit. But they're trying to rise from the tides, essentially. But once post-board, when we have just a ton of hand disruption, we should be good. Ah, there we are. So I guess we wait till our opponent's in step to do it. So basically we're just going to take out a bunch of spot removal, bring in a bunch of hand disruption and counter spells, and be well matched. All right, let's anticipate here. Transgress, all right. All right, I'm on board. Take it. So I could have anticipated on my turn and transgressed away the Jace's Sanctum, which may have been better. All right, so let's take the pour over the pages again. Life gain, like I said, pretty irrelevant, but having 3 Grasp of Darkness in hand right now is not good in this matchup. Opponent's going to be able to start scrying here shortly, too. Silumgar's command. All right, that'll work. It's when they cast the spell, though, that they get to scry, so could be a problem there. I think we're going to let the nagging thoughts resolve. We basically just have to hold the counter for the Rise from the Tides. I'm unsure right now how much main deck counter spells this deck runs, but I guess we'll find out. So opponent did top, which means it found something. All right, bottom. Looks like they bottomed twice. It's a lot of nagging thoughts. So, like I said, we're letting all this resolve because as long as we counter the Rhizomatides, which I believe there's 2 of in the deck, but they can also get it back with Days Undoing, I believe. What did they reveal? Part the Water Veil, pour... Okay. Might have to counter a Part the Water Veil, I guess. Alright, all the Silumgar's commands. Alright. So we'll see how our opponent scries here. Put a card on the bottom. Alright, let's... Guess we can clash it. But I want to Silumgar's command. Bounce Sanctum. Prism Rings, still irrelevant. So I can actually, I think we just let the Jace's Sanctum resolve. We're more concerned about like Rhizomatides, stuff like that. Like Sanctum's good, but we gotta worry about there's bigger fish to fry, as they say. Ruinous Path. Yeah. Our main deck removal is no bueno here. So I could actually just let the Water Veil resolve because I've got all this removal. Like, it might just be in my best interest to let him take an extra turn. But then again, I probably just want to clash here. While I still can easily. Why not, right? So we need a land here so we can still cast our Silumgar's command. We actually bottom both. Alright, got the land. So as long as we're leaving up Silumgar's command for Rhizomatides, we're fine. Or Days Undoing, I guess, too. So I would have to take 12 points of damage. I mean, I can't beat Arise from the Tides, but him taking an extra turn is pretty bad. I can also just bounce the land, but... I mean, I'm not going to be able to beat Arise from the Tides. Maybe I just have to take 12 damage here. Like, I can beat this thing, but I can't beat Arise from the Tides. So the reason I'm not casting the spells on his extra turn, I just have to make sure that Arise from the Tides gets countered. It could work out amazingly well for us. Because if opponent tries to do Rise from the Tides and I Silumgar's command, I can counter it and bounce his part the Water Veil creature. So that could work great for us. Otherwise, I go down to 6 life, but I can double grasp that thing at the end of turn. Day's Undoing. Alright, so forcing our hand here, but we'll let him scry first. I think Rise from the Tides is going to get us, though. So let's anticipate. We want to like transgress. I guess we can clash, but not effectively. Well, we have the Languish now, I guess, for Rise. So let's just pass. Leave up Anticipate and Clash of Wills. So I still think the deck does run Rise. At least the version I saw. I mean, obviously, he just reset our graveyards or whatever, so it seems less likely now, but... So I'm going to anticipate. Still get to clash. Searching for another counter here too. Languish, I guess. Need to find more counters though. Or we're going to die to another one. Not that our deck has a lot of counters. So let's read some bones. Grasp does keep us alive. So I guess we'll top both of these. Probably still want to pieces. I have 7 mana, so I can't leave up Silumgar's command. I can anticipate, but I think we're gonna pieces. Well, problem is I still, yeah. All right, I think we need to anticipate. I could just anticipate now, actually. And the reason to do that is if I get like Transgress and nothing better. All right, we got the Silumgar's command. We got the Rhythmatides too, but we need to do Silumgar's command. We'll find a Dark Petition at some point. All the Jace's Sanctums. Engulf the Shore. Actually, it looks like just mostly junk, so that's good news. Dismiss all. Gotta let all the card draw effects resolve here. All right, let's do pieces. Can do Crush. But we probably want the second command and a Transgress here. Seems better to me. All right, let's Transgress. Slowly but surely picking apart all of our opponent's win cons. All right. part's gone. So opponent has what? One part the veil left? Because one's in the graveyard. Only thing we saw in our opponent's hand was Engulf the Shore, which does in fact deal with our Rise from the Tides, but let's not worry about that. So no Part the Water Veils left. Which is good. Now maybe we just have to counter the Day's Undoing? All I've been saying is Rise from the Tides this whole time out of our opponent's deck, and we have not seen it, so maybe just the version I saw was that, but that is what I thought this deck was. More so than Part the Water Veil. I mean, I'm getting to the point where I can cast Rise and leave up command for Engulf the Shore, which we know he's got in his hand. Alright, I guess we can anticipate. Alright, let's transgress. Get rid of that, Engulf the Shore. Engulf the Shore and a bunch of lands. Got it. So now we're just like a Dark Petition away from taking the game over. Alright, we're going to counter that. Guess I can bounce a land. Bouncing a Sanctum doesn't do all that much except, I guess, gain him life. I can't even cast Ruinous Path. Just a grip full of removal here. We still have draw card effects, Dark Petition, and of course Rise from the Tides, one of which is certainly on the bottom of our deck. Alright, found the Days Undoing, unfortunately, so they get to resolve that. And we're back in the same problem we were having before. So now we're probably dead, but we did pretty good considering. We also made our opponent use a lot of time. I do have Silumgar's command in hand, which is good. And there's that pesky Rhizomatides. Where were you when I needed you? Alright, let's do this. Ah, Void Shatter too, huh? Alright. Get these two. Sure. Let's do Reed Elbones. Guess we can top both of those. So we can actually crush here. My opponent does not have enough to do double. Alright. So if we crush, we can still Void Shatter. Still Void Shatter the Part the Water Veil. And he has to pay full price for it now, so. So we know our opponent only has, what, 2 Part the Water Veils left? And 2 Days Undoing. Oh yeah, I have to discard 2. Guess we'll ditch a land. Alright, well, let's anticipate. Can't cast Read the Bones, so I guess we'll do another anticipate. One. There's a Transgress. So I can make, well, why don't we see what we're dealing with to start her off. So let's transgress our opponent. Days Undoing, engulf the shore, pour over the pages. So I see the problem. Why don't we get rid of Days Undoing or Engulf. I mean, I can still play Rise and counter Engulf the Shore. So we'll do Rise from the Tides. I can still Void Shatter plus Silumgar's command, so let's just do that. I'm going to Void Shatter the Engulf. And then I'll Silumgar's command his Part the Water Veil if he finds it. This is game 1, and our opponent's got less than 7 minutes, so that's good news for us. Our opponent has had to do more things than we have, which has just made it that much more difficult for them to win. Granted, we're only dealing 14 damage a turn, which is not enough to get there as fast as you would like. All the sanctums. So sanctimonious over here. So we exile the Engulf the Shore, or do we want to exile the... We probably want to exile Part the Water Veil, don't we? Opponent's just bottoming like crazy here. Now I could counter the Engulf the Shore, but I'm kind of curious what my opponent finds here. I can't imagine my opponent has any chance now with less than 5 minutes in game 1. There's just too many scry triggers for that deck. Like, I can just let him resolve a another piece is Nagging Thoughts. All right. I can just let him resolve Engulf the Shore, to be honest. I don't even have to counter it. Because I've got another Rise coming. So I'd rather just keep the command for the one card in his deck that beats me, right? Because he's... Actually, that's his last... He doesn't have any Part the Water Veils left. So I think he's only got a Days Undoing now. So the only spell we're concerned about is Day's Undoing, is that right? And he's only got one left in his deck. And he has no Part the Water Veils left in his deck. So Engulf the Shores he's got is going to resolve. We're going to let the zombies bounce because opponent said good game, out of wins. All right. I assume he's not going to go to game 2. I don't blame him. Just does not have enough time, but we would bring in this guy and these things. Yeah, it looks like makes sense that he would do the match, but we have just phenomenal post-board play is insane, right? Because we have 3 Duresses, another Transgress, Mind Rot, Negates, Infinite Obliteration. I guess we can't name a creature, so that won't work. But we can drop all this removal, bring in a bunch of hand disruption. Grip will never resolve. Like, well, I guess if he resolves in a Part the Water Veil, we could, but we probably don't need it. Yeah, we can just drop Ruinous Path, Languishes, Grasps. Maybe leave 1 Languish in, just in case there's a sideboard Rise plan or something. All right. Hope you enjoyed it. We'll see you for the final round of the day.